We're ready. We're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Get Reelisms podcast. I am Adam Rani.
And I am still Christine Chen.
Episode 38.
Damn, 38 already? Every time you say the number, I'm always surprised.
Just like Kanye's album, 808s and Heartbreaks. We're going to be the underdogs, Christine, you know? Yeah, how you doing, dude? How's life?
It's good. Everything is going nutso right now because if people have been following, I'll give some context. I'm currently about to tomorrow be on our first day of production, but I've been in pre-production for a feature as an AD called Marisol. And then in addition to that, we're going full speed ahead with my feature, which we're shooting in April. Simultaneously, so and that's going full speed ahead. So sometimes my brain is like, wait, which film am I working on? Like sometimes I'll say things that are clearly for the other film set. I think I sent my production design / co-writer Camille an email meant for the current production I'm on about some other wardrobe stuff. She's like, you mentioned some other wardrobe person I don't know of, and I was like, oh crap, that was this production I'm on. So my brain is trying to work on both at the same time. So it's been, thank you so much. Yes, thank you for the congratulations for their projects. I feel very excited. I'm very lucky to be in this position right now. It's a fucking dream come true. So I'm very excited about my feature because it's been since 2014, Fun Employment. I mean, technically, Fun Employment.
2013.
I shot Fun Employment starting in 2013 and took a break from it for a year and then finally released it because of Adam and some other people who were like, this is not shit. Nope. You should release this. So I released my feature in 2016. So it's been almost 5 years and now I'm going to finally make a feature. And I yes, the first one is a feature, but I sometimes don't count it because when I did that feature, I didn't even know what call sheets were.
But it's still a feature nonetheless.
Yes, it is still by definition a 90-minute film.
Yeah.
But it just didn't feel like a feature because it wasn't like with a huge ass crew. It wasn't with, specific roles. We all did everything. We had no clue what we were doing. So, it was made for little to no money. And this time I'm running into a new problem. I am making it like a legit feature, therefore having a legit budget, which is a whole problem in itself. So the part I'm learning and I hate right now is the process of raising money.
Yeah.
I was complaining
because you can't do anything without money, which is crazy.
You can't do money talks, money. And I was complaining to my producer / investor that finding investors is quite like dating. They all want to sleep with you, but nobody actually wants to have a committed relationship. It's very much like that. It is so much like that. They're all like, yeah, we're in, we're excited, we want to be a part of the project. And you're like, great, how much money? And they're like, well, we're gonna see like how other things work.
I'm gonna put that quote in your biography one day.
It is so much like that though. It was like I was so frustrated this one day because I had talked to several investors, and every time like, all right, going for the close, okay, so how much do you want to commit? It's always like crickets. I kind of want to see like what other people are putting in first before I commit to a number and all this and blah, 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 blah. But
it is so like having on a first date. This is like, so
it's moving your relationship to the next level, and it's impossible to move the relationship to the next level. That's hilarious. But it is so much like dating. They're all like so excited.
Hang out next week.
Yeah, let's hang out.
I don't know.
I want to be on the table read. I want to get involved and stuff like that. Cool. All right, let's commit. I don't know.
I have like about 17 other table reads. I just dip my toes in, if that's okay.
Let's commit. Let's be in this committed relationship together. And they're like, well.
Yeah. because you just want to make it a done deal. It's just like, listen, you like it, I like it. Let's
you
hang
like
out.
me, I like you.
Let's do this. The
We're
sky's the
a good
limit.
fit,
And
right?
then they
Let's
get cold
do
feet.
this.
Then they're like, oh, does that mean like I have to like see you every day and like talk to you every day? I don't know.
So yeah, so that's the part I'm learning about, which is man, finding investors is like dating. It is so much like dating. It's so frustrating because like my brain is like, I just want to be on set. Let's just shoot it now. You know, and a great thing about, and you know what's really annoying? I got this point where I was like, I told one friend of mine, I was like, I can't, I'm so frustrated right now. I was like, I feel like there's people who have less knowledge, who lie and like, but can raise money so much easier than somebody who actually like knows everything about a film set.
Yeah, right.
It's like, because I know of
Yeah.
so much that's almost a disadvantage, because I talk truthfully about what a film set is going to be like, you know, and I'm not
Right.
going to oversell it, versus somebody who like doesn't know anything is going to like just give you a bunch of bullshit, but that bullshit sure sounds better than reality, you know. So I just,
But I mean, these are the punches you're rolling with. I feel like this is, you got a leg up. You know what I mean? Because you
yeah,
also have that experience underneath your belt. This could have just been your first fucking gig.
that would have been bad, man.
That would've been
I'm
bad.
so glad that I went the opposite way and I learned everything I should have done. And also I've watched and observed on other people's sets that was not my money or my people, and watched what should or should not have been done. So like on this set, I'm learning so much just from the producers. They're fantastic. They're so nitpicking, and but that's what you want. You want all these little problems to be fixed before you even get on set. And like these producers are Friday, we are trying to get our call sheet out, and I kid you not, I think we had like 10 emails back and forth of little things that we needed to like a list of shit that we needed to change. And we're just like, oh my God, we're so tired of this. And it's just like stuff like, should this every little thing that we have in this call sheet is being questioned. But in the end, when we got it, he was like, it's approved. We're like,
Oh my
oh
God.
my God, we murdered this. But because they're being so thorough, then when we're on set, we're going to minimize problems. Like I am so prepped right now. I can tell you back and forth what we're going to do and what scene comes before what, and like what cars are coming at what time, and like who's testing at what time. Like because I've answered these questions a million different times in a million different ways.
So
and
you know it.
I know it, but
Yeah.
so like in the moment, it's stressful and sometimes, I mean, borderline annoying, but
Well,
I'm glad,
yeah.
you know, because if I
It's
hadn't
just a
have done
tedious
that,
work at this
it's
point.
extremely tedious. But if I hadn't have done that work, we would be effed on set on Monday. So, and I think so many people don't like to go through that process, so they end up effed on set, you know. And I've had to deal with so many of those sets and clean up those sets as an AD when those things should have been done and caught by a producer, you know.
Yes.
So worth
I agree.
the wait. So yes, kudos to the producers on the set. They're badasses, and I really respect that. And man, I've learned so much just in the. I think it's been 3 weeks that have been prepping. 3 weeks of prep. I mean, holy crap. I mean, I say this, and I'm already prepping for Erzulie, my feature, and
Yeah.
we're not doing that till April. And I'm already. We
But
had
you got
a
the ball
like.
rolling already.
Yeah, we already have the ball rolling. I have a schedule already. And that's the beauty of being an AD. You don't have to hire somebody to do your schedule. I've done my schedule and I know
Yeah.
exactly how I'm shooting it. And,
I gotta blow my nose because
oh, okay, cool.
it's like
Ew, gross. So yeah, no, I'm so excited, and I'm having, and what's
okay.
real beautiful too about this feature our feature, Erzulie, is that this group has been handpicked from years of um, working on sets. So there is a pattern where I see as an AD, I come and I AD, and the director often doesn't know any of their crew because it's all picked from by the producers and put together and stuff. And because directors aren't used to really working with with different crew, I've been building my team since the very beginning, since I was nobody, right? And so I've collected people along the way, and every single person on this team has been specifically picked from my years of experience, which is very special to me because it's like a big ass family reunion for me, you know. So like I'm like, all right, I keep saying this is the OG. Like these are the people who started when we knew nothing, and look at where we are now, you know. And I'm so grateful that they are still here with me.
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard without you. You know what I mean? And a lot of people have you to thank. Not a lot of people. Ladies and gentlemen, Christine literally can run a film set like with the snap of her finger. I'm not saying like she's ruthless like Thanos or any of that shit, but she knows how a well-oiled machine runs, and she runs it. And not a lot of ADs I worked with could do that. Like to the level of consistency that Christine puts in every single day. Because there's always those days where there's better than others. That goes for any set. But there are consistent days where we make sure we're going to be on schedule, or make sure you're going to get on time, and we're going to make sure we're going to eat on time, and we're going to get out in a decent time. And if not, okay, well then we're going to plan that we're going to plan B, C, D, and E, you know?
Yeah.
So you already have that.
I think the reason for it is I don't think a lot of ADs or really directors or anything have done and understand every single position on the set.
But some of these idiots have worked 30 plus years.
Yeah, but there is something with like you kind of stay in your lane, especially like in union and that type of job.
Right. And
jobs.
you've been a director, you've
But
been a
exactly,
producer, you've
I've done it the other way,
Yeah.
where I had to form my own team to make anything, right? So I've done it where I was the only person on the team. That's how I started. I started with just having a camera and it's just me. So I learned to light, I learned to shoot, I learned to edit. So I know why all the departments are so important. That's why I love ADing, because I can jump between different departments, and I can talk to Apples, who's on the podcast right now, and be like, hey, can we use Titan? Like, what? Tell me about these Titan tubes, you know? And I'm able to use that. And then on my next set that I'm, you know, working on, I've DP'd and used the Titan tubes and stuff. So I know how those work, you know? I don't think there are a lot of ADs or directors that know who do that. Most stay in their lane, and they're like, and yes,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. I think to a certain degree, to be able to do your job very well, you do have to focus. You know, you know, on set, I do stay in my lane. I am an AD, and I just worry about schedules and getting people there, right? But like overall, as a career, I've been very lucky to have to learn about everything on a film set, and I don't think enough people do that, and that's okay, because you know, why does a grip need to know anything about art? You know, technically you don't need to, you know. Why does a camera person really need to know about what I do as an AD? Technically you don't need to, right?
But you can also argue that you need to like kind of respect each and every department. So if you understand what they are going through on a daily basis, because art department, you know, whether or not it's completely different than grip, which fundamentally it is, but at the end of the day, they all have their challenges.
Yes. And I think because I understand.
And I'm saying they should see that on both sides.
But that's rare. Not every
No,
person
yeah.
has that or needs to. Most of the time, makeup just knows makeup, and then everything else is like,
Yeah.
or grip just knows grip. And there's nothing that's wrong with that. It's just that it's extremely specialized. It's just the way I had to become a filmmaker was I had to, and I'm a doer too. Like that's the way
Yeah.
I learn. So
I'm a visual learner as well.
yeah. So me doing it gets and sticks in my head more than me just seeing, like watching it and stuff like that. And so yeah, I think it's going to be versatile. Someone was saying it's sure allowed me to survive economically in this industry. Somebody wise, I don't remember who said this, but they broke it down as there's three things that you do on a film set. One that you love to do, like you would do for free, right? Like that you just love, and that's for
Absolutely.
me is directing. I love directing. Two is the one that you do out of necessity, like because nobody else is good at it and you end up doing it. For me, that's producing. I produce because that's the way to get my projects out, and that's
For me,
been
that's being a
out of
PA.
necessity. Well, there you go. Yes. And the third thing, yes, that's very true. Third
Well,
is
I mean, I meant that as a
something.
joke, but okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, being a PA, everybody starts somewhere. I was a PA. Oh, I got to
Yeah,
tell another
no, I
story about
know.
that.
Yeah.
And third thing is you do it because you're good at it.
Yeah.
And that for me is ADing. I do it
Mhm.
because I'm good at it. So, and I get paid
Absolutely.
to do that. So those are the three positions, and I've just lucked out where because I've had to create my own content from the start, I've just developed and learned all these skills, and I'm able to really understand and appreciate and respect each department and what they need. And yeah.
You need to
So
take that?
no, I think it's an Amazon thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I wanted to piggyback on what you just said. Does it feel like there has to be a level of competency, right?
Yeah.
In order to do this. So it's not like because there's like a mix, it's like a mixed it's like a chemistry in your head that it's like you gotta one part love doing it and then the other part equally feel competent to do it and have the courage to do it. And
Yeah.
then the other thing on top of it is, can you do it consistently? Can you do it on a full feature set, 25, 50, 60 days, however long, can you survive every single day doing that?
Someone on Instagram says that was Walter White.
Yeah, I was
Not.
gonna say, yeah.
What if it was, guys?
Heisenberg. Yeah.
Heisenberg. One of the
Um,
best shows of all time.
yeah,
Still.
100
Yeah.
still to this
Still.
day. But like I was saying, like the level of, because I've seen, and it's nothing against these good, great, first ADs and stuff like that, but the amount of work that I put in, I've seen first ADs, like especially on a commercial shoot, who are very just like, they don't. It's crazy because these are like, there's some of these and I'm not going to say who, but some of these companies are really reputable. And the one thing you definitely want to hire is a ideal first AD, not somebody who just works in the offices of this company and just say, yeah, you
Yeah.
can
Well, I
you
think.
can just tell people what to do, right? And just hire local Austin people, which I
Yeah.
unfortunately was.
I feel like people don't. A lot of those
I'm
companies
kidding.
just
I
don't
love
understand.
those jobs, by the way. Thank
They
you.
just don't
Please
understand
give me
like
more.
what the purpose is. Again, if you don't understand what the purpose of a job is, you're not going to know how to properly hire for that job. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And
Yeah.
so somebody said they can't wait to work on a feature. I can't wait for you to work on a feature.
I
It's very
know. Working on a
tiring.
feature, it's addictive, you guys. It
It's
really
addictive.
is.
It's addictive. But man, like I said,
It's a
next
lot
week
of work,
I
though.
start, and then it's going to be a whole month. A whole month. Do you know what my call time is tomorrow?
Oh God, like 4 a.m.
Pretty much that.
Oh,
I have to start COVID testing at 5:30 a.m. 5:30 a.m. And the location is in Taylor, Texas, which is like 30 minutes away.
yeah. I don't function at 5 a.m. Like I'm not. I'm just a lump of being when I'm at 5 a.m.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I can't
difficult.
think.
And then the
Yeah.
first things I'm shooting is we're gonna do Splinter Crew, and we're gonna go to like 3 different locations with an electric car, and like I don't know. I'm just like I know exactly.
That's a lot.
I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
know, but I'm currently on my 3rd short. Oh, never to film. Well, you work up to it. I've done like 15 shorts. It's
Yeah.
taken me a while to earn this right to do this feature, this next feature. So yeah, I think I've done like 15 shorts. I'm
Everybody's
like
gonna
shorted
ha-
out. Ha 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 ha. I'm shorted out. I like look at me. You usually are the ones with the puns, but look
I
at
mean,
me.
yeah, I'm you're becoming me.
Yeah. But
And then I'm gonna become you. I'm just
I'm
gonna
at
be
a point where I literally don't have any more shorts I would like to do. Like
yeah.
I say this
I mean,
though.
I was gonna say like you may never know. I mean, David Lynch still comes out with shorts. You know what I mean? And look how old he is. Jesus Christ! Like
Because
he,
shorts are fun.
yeah,
They're low maintenance, low commitment.
less than a week sometimes.
You can test out concepts and see if I really want to do that, and like you can always find people who are willing to give up their weekend just to like do a little project, and they're like quick, fast turnarounds, and like it's just harder to get bored of them. Like, with a feature, it's you devote your life to it for at least for a few years, right? Because like you prep,
Especially the writing process.
exactly. You write, yes, you write, and that's what, like 3 months, 4 months, sometimes a year, right? And then after you write, then you raise money. That's another like half a year, or in our case, like 3 months.
Which I gotta say, like I've always wanted. I meant to tell you that's fucking nuts, dude.
It is nuts.
The turnaround you made on that is fucking gold.
It is a bit nuts, but I think
That's
the
a
reason
superpower.
why I was able to make it work was because I was always going to make a feature this year or last year, really, en route. I just pivoted.
Right. Yeah.
I just pivoted and decided to do a different film already. So those connections in that communication was already happening.
Oh, so you already established that. So all you
Yes.
had to do
So
was
it
come
wasn't-
back with another product.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just pivoted. That's all
Yeah,
I did. So
okay.
was it really 3 months? Not really, because I've been talking about this since last year.
So it's a long time coming. Yeah.
It's a long time coming. So we just finally pulled the trigger, was all, on a different film. So I originally,
Right.
before COVID, I had a different feature script that I was ready to go on called En route.
And we shot a proof too.
Yes, we did. We shot a proof of concept short for. But the problem is with COVID, this film was about EMTs and medical stuff and whatever. And I was, as a producer, practical producer, was like, getting into medical stuff right now is probably very difficult to do.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard unless like I have a film set built out, type
Well,
thing.
yeah, and then also the safety of it all. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just it can get a little which is
Exactly.
understandable. But you pivoting to, and
I'm
I
very
mean,
good at pivoting.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
No, but I'm saying like in the setting and the justification of the atmosphere with it, like can serve a good, safe like way of going about this, in a practical sense behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be dope. I mean, it's a dope story no matter what.
I'm excited. We are going to do
love
it. Just that's like the Sundance film per se. This one is a.
What do you mean?
Oh, like the subject matter,
I'm
matter.
sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Stuff. This film is more of a. It's fun.
It's fun. Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun.
But here's the thing, though, Christine. When I read that script, and I'm not going to talk deep about it, but it's just. I mean, I told you it's fun. It's a shit ton of fun. I like every single scene. Like even though it has its low moments, you made the dialogue engaging and fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I have it's probably fun because I have Camille co-writing it with me, because I am not a fun person.
What? No, that's not true.
I'm a dark and dreary and bittersweet. Life is bittersweet kind of person. So
you're not.
So yeah, so Camille My co-writer is brilliant.
But
and
Camille is a fantastic writer. Let's
yes.
shout out to
So
Camille. Has she
between
been on the podcast,
we
by the
worked
way?
really well together because we're really noticing that we're kind of polar. We're
Yeah.
complements of each other. So what she's really good at
It's like
is
Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, you know?
yeah, that's a good analogy.
Mm-hmm.
But what she's good at is she's all about, you know, the character development and um, that kind of mine a lot of times revolves around action stuff, you know. So like sequences, I think is a good term. And then together we meld well for that. And then um, I think in terms of visuals and oh, if I want to shoot this, what's my motivation? I bring myself into this location if I don't have something doing that. Okay, I'll write it in. We're going to follow a car into the scene, you know, and whatever. So, Sundance still has credibility. It's still, unfortunately, old school.
It's just Sundance is just very, yes, you're right, old fashioned.
Yeah. But I want this current film called Erzulie, everybody, Erzulie. I would love to premiere at South by or at Fantasia Film Festival. Fantasia is a genre film festival in Montreal, which is fantastic. I'd never been to a genre film festival, and this one stuck with me because I won a contest with that film festival and got flown over there, and it was like an amazing experience. And in fact, I like told my team like, hey, you guys should go because like this like genre film festivals aren't my thing, but like that was one of the most memorable film festivals I've gone to because it was so different from what I usually would go see. So it's just like I don't know, zombies and things like that.
Yeah. Cool. But you still had that experience. That must be fucking wild.
It was great. It was cool. Guillermo del Toro was there.
Oh, fuck me. God. That's the thing. Like, that's what I'm most scared about because all of these directors are heroes of mine. And I'm so like Guillermo. If I saw him, I would go the other direction because I couldn't. I'm so terrified.
Dude. He was really nice.
I bet. But I would shake. It's like if I like talk to, I don't know, like a hot supermodel or something like that. It's just, it's just like I get the jitters and I sweat and shake and I have to run away.
You know what's funny? I get jitters, but with people of my level caliber, like for example, Jim Cummings.
Right.
Jim Cummings, like just like now we're like cool and stuff, but like when I first wanted to meet him, I was like, you were just stressed out about it. Yeah. But like, then you have who did the 3 sunset into the sunrise sun?
Oh, Richard Linklater.
Richard Linklater. Yeah. He was just chilling at a screening, and I just went up to him and just chatted with him because he was just chilling there. He drives a white Ford Volt, by the way. He parked right next to me. And then nobody was talking to him. And to the point where I was like, maybe I'm stupid and this isn't Richard Linklater. That I went and Googled Richard Linklater to look for his photo to make sure like I wasn't an idiot.
Him. Yeah.
And it was him. I was like, why the F is nobody talking to him?
He made Slacker. He made the Sunset movies.
Yeah. So I walked over. I was like, hey, like I really like your work.
I would shit my pants, dude. I would just be like, I gotta go.
That doesn't fucked up. Usually people like that never intimidate me. It's people who I know are like.
But that's you're right though, because once you start breaking the ice, that's when I'm smooth sailing. Like that's when I'm already there. Like once I ride that wave, and if I just break the ice of like, hey, hi, and I introduce myself and all that, I'm sure things would just get moving. But that initial, it's like going on a first date. It's just like, I don't know, or asking somebody out, it's just like, you don't want to say the wrong thing. And I also, because I'm such a goofy dude, that I don't want to say something that I think is funny. And then it translates to me just being an asshole or looking like an asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I think
comedy is my strong suit. I go for
it. You like can make friends with everybody though.
I do, but here's the thing though. I like making friends who are of like-minded, like you. Like
Mhm.
we live, eat, and breathe movies. And most of the time when we're working on these film sets, they also love movies, you know, 9
Yeah.
times out of 10.
Yeah.
Not all the time. Those people confuse the fuck out of me, but they're there, you know. And I like to work with people who are the same mind as I am. Not
Sure.
all the way, but
But
you know,
like, I
yeah.
guess when you think about somebody on Instagram says that they would probably do the same thing, is not believe that that's truly the person who's there and keep going. I'm very much like that. I can't
Yeah.
people. I'm terrible at names. I'm terrible like slip. I don't keep track of any of that stuff. So I think that's the thing. It's like
I am
when
too.
it's your colleagues and you know of somebody who's done incredible work, they're within reach, right? And so maybe it's something about that within reach that makes it really intimidating. Be-
Right. And also, like, I don't necessarily believe in coincidences, but I do believe in like the universe has served a purpose in my path to filmmaking or whatever. And if that means, you know, a fucking Richard Linklater is in my line of sight, what are the chances I'm going to have Richard Linklater in the future that I'm going to see him?
sure.
You know what I mean? So if I miss out on that chance to just say hi, you
Yes.
know, like
Yes. Maybe that's
I'm the
what
one
it is.
who fucked up.
Yeah. Somebody said you should just have some dad jokes to help you break the ice. I think that's good.
Well, I don't know about that. Like I've definitely shot myself in the fucking foot with my dumb comedy for sure. I mean, shall I count the ways between friends and first dates and trying to ask out somebody? Oh my god. I have so many stories. I have so many stories where I would make a joke and like girls just be like, "What?" And then they walk away. I have so many of those situations. But yeah, you just have to I guess just
You just gotta do it.
understand
Yeah.
and just go for it
Yeah.
instead of just like and just be yourself. That's the other thing too. Be yourself. Don't act like you have to, you
Impress anything.
know, sway somebody, you know.
Right.
You're not running for political office anytime soon. Shut up. Just be yourself. You know, we're making movies, we're making pretend. Somebody like Linklater or Del Toro shouldn't intimidate me, but they do because I grew up watching these fucking
Yeah.
movies. They're a big part of my childhood. Like, you know,
But I think
yeah.
about it because I'm starting to see it on the other side. I speak sometimes with students and whatnot, and I see that like, oh my god type thing, and I'm like, guys, like it's no big deal.
I know,
And
but it's like I don't know what it is, Christine. It's just like, you know, when you grow up with somebody and they don't know you, but you know them.
yeah,
You know that feeling? And then
yeah,
all you
you
want
feel
to
like you're
do is just like,
connected to them in some
oh,
weird
you
way.
helped me and my time alone with my parents getting divorced. And then they don't want to hear that. They're just like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like they don't like they don't want to hear how my childhood was affected by these movies for good, you know, for the good, not, you know, it helped me realize that I wanted to become a storyteller, you know,
Yeah,
like as I grew up and stuff. And I didn't quite realize it until I watched a certain movie or movies, you know.
I
So
don't
I
think
don't.
I've ever had a moment where my moment when I knew that I wanted to be a filmmaker was when I was on set.
I
I'm trying
was,
to think if I ever saw. Although now that my level of
yeah,
sophistication with movies watching has grown significantly, going back and watching some of the stuff that's were classics and has made me even more respect. Like I feel so much more respect for those films. Like
yeah.
I've been doing a lot of research and for my film Erzulie, and I've watched what's it called, Jurassic Park, Jaws again, and being like, holy crap! This is amazing. I knew they were cool when I was a kid, but I didn't know why, you know. But now,
So when you're watching it again, you understand the practicality that they
now
had to shoot it
I'm
through.
watching it being
Yeah.
like mind blown, you know, just mind blown by these films, just the writing in it, how
Yeah.
smart it is, and stuff like that. And I didn't know that as a
I'm
kid.
so
I just
happy
know
you
how you
rewatched.
feel.
I'm so happy you rewatched Jaws, by the way. You know what I mean?
Jaws is
Because
brilliant.
Jaws is such an iconic, just in terms of a story. Because let's be honest, it's a mechanical fucking shark swimming through eating children. You know what I mean? And whether or not you can believe that story, it's not getting my ass in no water. You know what
Yeah,
I
the way
mean?
that he does this, That's how I
just
want to do
works.
Erzulie. The way it's, you never really see, everything is fabricated in your head.
My favorite shot in all of cinema is in Jaws. Remember when what's his face was on the beach and he witnesses the murder, like the chick just
Yeah.
going into the water, and they had
Yeah.
that super zoomed into his face, but the background's getting expansive.
Yes.
My favorite fucking shot in the entire
yeah.
movie was that moment of just him realizing, oh fuck, there is a human being being
Eaten.
brutally murdered.
Yeah. Yeah, that film is
so good, isn't
so
it?
good. So good. So good. And I'm
For
going
being
back
in the
and
80s,
watching
right?
stuff.
Or the
My
70s?
friend Carl, our uninvited guest,
Yeah.
who was there, he suggested Species. And I went and started watching clips from Species.
Species
being like,
is
whoa.
yeah, it's wild. That's a wild movie.
I got a comment. People were saying that Will Smith or Donald Glover would be people that they would be intimidated about.
All those people. Yeah.
And I have something to add to that. The worst is meeting someone that you have so much respect for, and then they are dicks.
That's also the other side of it too, right? Like you don't want to meet these guys, and then you're like, oh, you're a piece of garbage. I didn't know that. Oh,
that's the worst.
That kind of stinks.
The best is when you meet someone that you are like a fan of and they turn out to be so cool. For example, Jim Cummings. I keep saying Jim Cummings. He's like the coolest person in my, like, that I fangirl about. I met him. So funny how it works. I started watching his stuff on Vimeo and stuff because he came on. He had some stuff on this channel called Shorts of the Week. Which, if you guys are avid film lovers, go on Shorts of the Week. It's all free, and they basically showcase the best shorts that there are.
That's right.
From different festivals. His short Thunder Road was on there, and I watched it and was like, "This is so cool!" Yeah. So I went to his Vimeo channel and just watched all the stuff that he did, and I was like, "You are so cool!" And then found out that it's funny how these things work. So first I found out, oh, he's making his feature in Austin, right? And I was like, holy shit. So I have no shame. I went and somehow found him on Facebook. And he's probably why he changed his name on Facebook now to something that nobody knows, because he's probably got too many people who
because he's been stalked by Christine Chen about 1,000 times.
Yes, who have no shame and come and
I do the same thing.
Message them.
I'm
I was
guilty
like,
of
hey,
it
dude,
as well.
you don't know me, but I heard you're shooting in Austin. If you need any help, let me know, because I shoot in Austin all the time. Well, then we were at the same film festival together, the New Orleans Film Festival, and I ran into him.
Right, yeah.
And I was just like,
I remember you telling me.
Yeah. Hi, Jim. I'm the person who like messaged you, and like I'm really excited to. Yeah, I love your stuff, and you are shooting in Austin. I can help you. Okay, bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna go kill myself now.
But it worked. It worked.
Bet, yeah.
They messaged me and were like, "Hey, do you want to
That's awesome.
come help?" And then I was on the project. I only day played, so I only worked the first week, but it was awesome. And then from there on, like, he's like, "Yeah, you call me and chat about stuff," and like, that's cool. I pride myself and hope that I'm always going to be that way. I get that my time is going to get sucked and it's smaller and smaller now, and I'm already seeing that. But I don't ever want to not make time for people who are interested in what I do or have questions. I think it's important for people to teach.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You learn that way too. So.
That's the thing, though. That's if you're willing to learn too, right?
Yeah.
And there's some people who are just like, "Fuck you! I'm not learning shit from you."
I think people who teach, or people who are willing to teach and answer questions, there's something special about people like that.
Yeah, because there's never gonna be a time where you're gonna learn. Like, there's never gonna be a film set, Christine. At least in my career in working film, I've had this moment working retail, and that was like the first 3 years of working retail. That's not to say that I have this immense confidence, but I figured it out. I figured out retail, but the film industry is the one thing I will probably never figure out for the rest of my life, because I'm going to learn something new
Yes,
every
every
single
time.
set. Every
It's because
single
it's
one.
an organic being. You're throwing factors that are always ever changing, right? You throw in
Yes.
people, and it's not the same people, because at least
No.
retail or something that you have like a consistent and different
Yeah, you have a schedule, but yeah.
It's consistent. Film, it's you throw in some different people that a few people might have worked together, a few people might hate each other, a few, you put them all together, and then you give them a schedule that can also changes because it varies with the script, right? So let's say your script has a lot of daytime scenes. All right, you're going to be waking your ass up at 5 a.m. To make, but let's say you're shooting that in the summer. Okay, your time,
Oh my God.
the sun
Yeah.
doesn't go down till 8 p.m. So maybe you don't have to start working at 5. But let's say you're shooting a horror film in the summer where there's a lot of night scenes, then your ass is not getting up and shooting anything until like 7 p.m.
7, 8.
So your
yeah.
time is 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So lesson
And those
for
night
anybody
shoots
out there:
can be brutal as well.
make your
Just as
horror
much.
films make your horror films or anything with a lot of night when there's less daytime and more nighttime. So like in January, December, those are great times to
Oh,
make a horror film. Yes.
right.
Don't make a film that's sunny and happy when you have only till 5:30 before the sun goes away. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
because
wish it could be
yeah.
perfect that way, though. It's never perfect that way. Funding, people who availability, everything.
No, but
But
putting your
yes,
best foot forward and thinking practical, like you just said, and just making those alternative day and night shoots,
yeah.
I have a level of consistency where it makes sense instead of just like, we have to shoot it at magic hour at dusk in about 10 seconds. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And oh, by the way, camera's not set up, sound's not set up, art needs
I
another
can tell
half
you.
an hour, and the sun is going to go away in like less than 10 minutes.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
I
and
remember
yeah,
my latest set actually was a great experience too, but it was a set in Dripping Springs, and it was like a Western type thing.
yeah.
And we were on schedule, but we are getting to the spot. I knew that magic hour was happening, like right there. And I was like, well, shit, I have pretty much, by the time we are all set up to go, 15 minutes to shoot the shot. And I had 8 longhorns. I had to start moving to this field. The entire crew,
Animals.
animals, yes, to this field. All our shit that was somewhere else to this field. And I just was like, and horses, people on horses and stuff like that. I was like, fuck. So stressful. Yeah, but
And the best part is
it was
when there's certain people on the film site who doesn't have the same level of urgency as you do.
oh god, I know. And I'm just like, guys, do you see the sun is setting right now?
Oh shit.
Move
Or,
your
yeah. Oh, we have to shoot now? Oh.
That's the worst. I get them there and I'm like, all right, let's shoot. And then they spend like 20 minutes arguing about how the shot should be. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to kill you.
I love those people so much, especially on a professional like commercial shoot. That's the best. That is the best, because you get these fucking assholes, even some PAs too. And I'm one of them, by the way, but I'm not saying anything. I'm just a PA. I'm just there in the background, just, fetching water and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I am just chilling while there's other people who are like, I disagree with that. Why would they just do X, Y, and Z? It's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and I'm sitting there being like, the sun is going away, guys.
Yeah. Should
And
we do
everybody's
this
just
now? And
going
it's like,
to
no,
blame it on me for
Christine, let's
not
think
getting
about
the
this.
shot.
Let's think about this for another hour, okay?
Yeah, and I got you here. Please just shoot something.
Please, for the love of Christ. Yeah.
Somebody
It's
just
wild.
said that they once filmed a scene as an extra from 3 p.m. to 5 a.m. Yep, that's pretty.
No.
That's about right. Yeah, 3 p.m. It's a night. Yeah, as an extra, as a party scene. Yeah, it's long. People think like film is like so. It is. I love filmmaking. I love it.
I do too.
But it's definitely, sometimes I liken it to like we're glorified movers. glorified laborers. Like
Yeah.
we're just moving things from one side to the other, like the whole day.
Flipping the world. Yeah.
Flipping the world. Let's flip the world again. Let's flip it again.
Flip it again. Yeah.
Or like glorified walkers, let's cross frame again. All right, let's cross frame again. Okay, let's cross frame the other way.
Mm-hmm.
As goes.
Yeah.
So, but I love it.
Yeah, there's always going to be those frustrating ass moments, but like you said in the beginning of this episode, if you work with the people you work with that you love working with, those days go by that much smoother,
Yeah.
Regardless, we're going to hit problems. We work it together as a family. We're just going to get through it no matter what. And we always do. We always see it to the other side. Yeah, there's going to be a few times where, I'm going to say something and Christine's going to get mad and I'm going to apologize. And
vice versa.
well, no, yeah, but there's been occasions where I would make a joke and it would be you, Kelly, and Roxy look at me all simultaneously, looking like you're about to rip my head off. And I'm just like, this is fun, huh? And then they just look at me like, Adam, if you don't walk away in 5 seconds, I'm gonna hit you with a light. And I have to just walk away.
Yeah, Kelly, our production designer, is like, well, people like to ask me questions when I'm clearly standing on a ladder.
That is wild to me. And you don't know how many times I've seen it, and I've also experienced it as just a regular, I'm not even like just a set dresser or an art PA. You just get asked these questions just randomly. It's just like, what? Not my department. Shut up. But
I'm experiencing the opposite problem right now. We're so used to small sets and doing everything. We had to have a meeting about like who does what, because it's so specialized now. So now we have like a whole position that helps us print sides, and a whole like department that helps us get stuff onto the work trucks. Carly and I are like, usually we're the entire production office.
Yeah, I just remembered, like, I'm having vivid flashbacks of Fugitive, when like we were pitching tents and breaking everything down, setting everything up, taking everything down, moving locations, bringing it all up. Wait, no, we got to go to the other side, take it all down, and then we move it. And so many times, and it's wild to see, like, because I've also been on those commercial sets where, like, there's people for that. There's people who are like, oh yeah, no, that's your sandbag.
That's man. The tech guy who does it.
Yeah, that's the guy who gets the sandbags and he puts them in the truck and brings them back again. And it's just like, that's all he does? And it's like, yeah. And I'm just like,
wow.
I'm like carrying 13 sandbags like over my head on my back, and I'm just fucking like throwing carrying a tent on my head, Like,
we're getting all lazy now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Remember like the time when we did everything? I told Kelly that, because Kelly's like, oh, I need a team and everything. And I was like, Kelly, do you remember when you were the art department? Only you?
Yeah. Oh, and here's the thing though. Like, she can easily do it by herself.
Right, but
you know what I mean?
Anymore. Yes.
She is that badass where because like, of course, like, you know me, I'm all about the art department. I get so excited. I go up to her and I'm like, hey, you need help? And she's like, I'm done. And I'm like, oh, okay. Or she's just like, I'm good. And she's like carrying like 13 different things. And I'm like, can I okay. She's like, I'm good. Sometimes there are those moments where you do jump in, but yeah, there's just those moments where sometimes because you fly solo so much, you're just used to that. So you have this thing in your head where the communication, you have those thousands of thoughts running around in your head. You can execute it all yourself because you can, just go from one to the next, to the next, to the next. To explain that to another person, let alone a dummy like me, it's going to be hard to convey that, and I've gotten better at just, shorthand dialogue where it's just, mostly grunting and noises. And then I just understand. I'm like, oh, you need me to move this table? Okay.
I'm really excited about this next feature.
I am very excited too. And I'm excited for you.
Well, it's just cool because, I mean, it's the I keep saying the OG. Like, these are the people that we started in 2013, 2014, where we didn't know anything. And it's coming full circle. We're on a set.
And you got
And
some
we know stuff now.
and you got some new faces too, unfortunate
Yeah.
faces, but
And then we have help now. And like, it's just cool.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm really excited. Like,
I'm very excited. I hope I mean listen, can we even say that we're gonna take this podcast on the road?
Yeah.
Potentially?
Yeah, we should.
I mean, we're gonna have to. And
We're
gonna
gonna
do
have
it.
to.
We're gonna do it
And we're gonna have day off, so yeah, we're gonna be on set. Yeah.
We're gonna be on set. We're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna shoot it outside. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be lovely. I'm gonna have mics set up and all that shit, dude.
That will be fun. We got to figure how we. That will be, maybe that's our new season. That's a whole.
I will. Yes, I will. I already have 2 mics. Like we're set, and I got this fucking badass Shure microphone right here.
So that's our next season. Shelter in Place will be done by then, and it's
not so shelter in place.
Not
season
so
3.
Season 3 on set. On
season
set,
3, back on the saddle again.
Back on the saddle.
Yeah, dude. I'm very excited about that. I hope I'm not going to be in the way and irresponsible and
no, you've grown
dumb.
so much. Yeah, we've all grown so much. Man, I'm just thinking back to like first feature we made. Like, I didn't even know the concept of shot listing or like storyboarding or anything really,
or even call sheets.
I always say this story of my DP being like, why do you want a dolly shot on this? What are you, Wes Anderson or something? And I was, yeah, he was being nice about it. It's fine.
Okay.
But I learned from that, because what he was trying to say was,
why are we copying?
Know why you're doing certain things.
Oh,
instead of like, I was doing it because I was like, oh,
it looks cool.
Dolly shot because it looks cool. Exactly. Yeah. It looks cool. It increases production value. So let's put in a dolly everywhere.
Let's be honest though, it does look cool, but why?
It does look cool. Yeah. Sometimes it's okay to do things just because it looks cool.
But sometimes you have to answer that question as to why.
Why? And I think I became a much better filmmaker when I started to realize I have to question why we do everything.
There's this amazing video. It was a Q&A that Quentin Tarantino did, and he basically talked about how he talks to actors. Like a question was asked to him, like, when you're blocking, when you're describing something to an actor, like, Quentin is like, I have these characters, like I know the back of my hand. Mm-hmm. He is like, I know exactly where I want the camera to go, especially where the focus is going to be in that particular scene. Yeah. And he was just like, just because like I want to walk them to the other side of the room isn't because I'm just going to say, well, because I fucking told you so. Now go walk to the other side of the fucking room. Right. It's like, no, I have this explanation. It's like, no, we got to see his fucking inference or his struggle with why. Him.
Yes.
Yeah. And
just
he was like yeah.
It's like in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
There's a shot where it's so simple. It's a dolly shot. And it's when I believe it's the wife is sitting at a table by herself eating or something.
Yeah, dude.
And it dollies and reveals Walter White.
Yeah.
Like hidden behind the pillars waiting.
Just waiting. Yeah.
Just waiting. And it's such a fucking simple shot, but it's so effective. And you know why they did it that way immediately, right? Like, I think that as I continue to mature as a filmmaker, I think that's the stuff that I notice more and more and I'm asking the questions is why, and I think it's that makes
it's that same intensity where like, have you ever seen the movie Blade Runner?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, you remember the end of Blade Runner where the android was about to die and he was talking to Harrison Ford and he was talking about humanity and how the loss of innocence is all that we have as humans, and or no, the rather consistency of innocence that we have. And he like, it's just a close-up, and it's just raining on his face, and it's just like a nice little close-up, and it just pans down to him just passing away in like the slow motion shot. And whether or not it's choreographed, simple, or yet complicated, it still conveys that simple message of humanity. And I love those shots. And sometimes, yeah, like when I was a kid, when I see that, I'm just like, whoa, that's cool. I love the fact that there's robots in it.
Right. You don't know.
But then when you grow up, then you start to realize, like, oh, that's why I love it. That's like, I just watched The Dark Knight again for the millionth time. But when I watched it back in 2008, I was 17 years old. So
is that movie that old now?
2008. Yeah, I was 16 when Iron Man came out. Yeah.
Gosh, that's so weird. That's so weird.
I know. Yeah, I know. But
I fell in love with Christopher Nolan because of that film. It wasn't because of Memento, or because I didn't really realize who that was at that point. But it was that film that made me go backtrack into Christopher Nolan's career and being like, holy shit, I really love Christopher Nolan stuff.
But the fact that, like, how he wrote it and how he directed it was even the first 10 minutes when you see the Joker, it's the Joker. He's behind a mask, by the way. He's just wearing like a rubber bozo mask. And yet you still understand just by the sheer body language that that's the Joker. And Heath Ledger fucking killed it in the entire movie. But that specific moment when he's just going through the bank and he's just silent and he's just to himself and he's just like fucking, tying everyone's hands with a grenade and shit like that. He, like, the master of crime is clearly there, and it's so fucking well executed from beginning to end with that movie. It's truly magical, but you don't realize the consistency in terms of the shots and how it was all kind of orchestrated, because it feels like an orchestration. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to a movie,
because I think the most artful films are things you don't even notice that they're moving, or you don't notice that things are shot a certain way to make you feel a certain way because you're so in it, in the film. I'm doing research, like I said, right now for the film, and there's been so many times where I'm like, all right, I'm just going to watch this film for research. Now we're in 30 minutes later. I'm like, shit.
What did I learn?
I just watched the entire film.
Yeah.
I was only supposed to watch this one scene.
But I watched the entire movie.
I watched the entire film. This has happened multiple times.
Yeah, dude. I'm reading comic books again. And I always tell myself, I'm like, I want to read for storyboards. I want to know how I want to shoot something specifically, like in a post-apocalyptic atmosphere. But I just got into this one comic book and I was only going to read one issue. There's 500 issues and I'm already like in 200 issues. I'm just like,
that's how I feel like every time I watch Breaking Bad again.
It's so good. It's just like, it's potato chips. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just going to watch this one thing to understand this technique. Binge watch 6 seasons later.
Right. Well, we are basically actually over past 45 minutes. So we're going to have to wrap this up here. But yeah, guys, watch something that inspires you. You know, a good little thing. If you want to do something that's creative, whether or not it's writing or directing something, or even making another short film to some people in the chat here.
Yeah, I'm gonna Instagram call to attention our awesome audience today.
Yeah,
storyboarding is awesome.
Yes,
you should storyboard because
comic books are a fantastic way to do that.
Yes, exactly. And there's multiple different ways to storyboard, and I've found that sometimes the process of storyboarding just gets it out of your head or in an organized fashion. It's not that you aren't really storyboarding, you might already have it in your head, but just the process of translating that into a physical form just solidifies that idea so much better. and
Yes.
organizes the idea so much better. And it's visuals are always so much easier to use as a tool to convey to your team what's in your head. And like I can just go to my DP and be like, I want this shot, instead of being like, hey, I like this like thing in the foreground, and then we rack focus to the other person.
Or a very inexperienced person who's like, have you ever seen Star Wars? Remember how it was shot like this? And it's like,
yeah, remember
what?
that scene in like where like you like kind of like dolly over, and then you rack focus to the background, and then you rack focus to the foreground, and then it you know dollies in.
You just see the DP wrap his neck in a stinger, and it just.
It's easier just to be like, see this drawing? Do that.
Yeah, please. Yes. And sometimes that's all it takes. It's like this. And it's just like, oh, okay. And then you just do it. Yeah.
It just speeds up the process is all.
Just speed up the process.
Your own storyboards. So like I said, the first film I ever did, I did not even know what storyboards were. And then I learned later on my next short film, which was A Bird's Nest, I did storyboards. And it was like stuff that only I could understand. It was this little stick figures, and like I am very bad at perspective, but it was these little things but it was enough where by showing it, being like, see this head is bigger in the frame, that means it's closer to the camera.
Yeah, I know. The see, depth of field. Yeah.
Little dog that's in the background.
Where do you come from? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I would start. And then another way that I like to storyboard too, is if I have the luxury of being on the location, doing photos, so you put your friend in there and just be like, stand there. That's where, and then taking different photos with their phone or whatever in the angles that you want. That's a lot easier to convey. But yeah, storyboarding all the way, because it just organizes the mess that's in your head.
Especially when it comes to sequences.
Yes, and it especially when you're on set and you've got 50 people asking you questions, you kind of just have to rely on
the sides and the
autopilot.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So if you did your prep and you did your storyboards, you can confidently know that I literally just need to shoot these things, right? And I know that I will be okay with my film. But it's hard to do that if you're on a set and people are asking you, didn't do the homework, then you're always second guessing, questioning whether you got what you needed.
Always second guessing. Yeah. And so Christine's going to have a heart out, but this is also a very nice point. Kirk 101 was saying how sometimes you just don't have the time to just
or
do
you don't have funds.
And
totally get it.
Here's the other thing too. I'm not a good drawer, like 100% not a good drawer. I just use Procreate. Like I have an iPad and I just use Procreate and I just sketch something just random. Just something like I have a frame, I draw the box and I'm like, this is where the first character is going to be. And this is the other character right here. You know what I mean? And the depth of field, you can just infer and understand. And you don't have to be a good drawer either.
Yeah. She was asking last one, because I do have to jump on another
Christine
call.
has a heart out like now. But
it's okay. So do I outline every time I write? No, not necessarily. Sometimes I do. I'm doing it more often now because I'm really understanding and getting a better grasp of the beats. And I have found that having a good grasp of beats does aid in like how you write. But sometimes you just need to open it up and start writing dialogue and see like how your brain, I have done the retro thing where I'll start writing and then I'm like, ooh, like some pacing is wrong. Let's go back and outline what I just wrote. And then I'll start to realize, okay, it's slow here because I'm at the midpoint. Like I don't get to the midpoint until I should have been in the third act.
In the third act, yeah.
So I often will go back and outline everything just to make sure my beats are there.
Because it's all about consistency.
Yeah. But there's no like set method.
No.
I have. It's kind of just like.
Especially when it comes to writing, there's no method. Anyways, you guys, get inspired, watch some cool shit, and write something, make something. Let's make some movies. Let's make some movie
And if
magic.
you are new to a film set, you should check out our book that we wrote specifically for new filmmakers called Get Reelisms, or even veterans, but open it up. It's got pictures. That's the biggest.
It's got pictures. It's got little visual cues. It's got explanations of everything too. You know, MOS, Mark, Magic Hour. We talked about Magic Hour earlier in the episode.
Yeah, so you don't know your film lingo. You should get this.
You should get
it
this
because
this is film school, you guys.
Film school in the book, basically.
This is all film school.
This is something that they don't teach you on film school, because in film school they usually just teach you theoretical things, which is very important to learn too. But like
how to break down a Kubrick film.
Yeah. Oh, somebody said, hold it up again. All right, hold it up again.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
GetReelisms.com,
ladies and gentlemen.
We
out.
GetReelisms.com.
Follow us Instagram, on Facebook. Get Reelisms.
Yes,
thank you guys.
If you get one, feel free to mention in the notes, hey, I listened to your podcast. I'll write you a nice note.
Exactly. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the Get Reelisms episode 38. We'll be back next week. Later Instagram, later Facebook.
Peace out, guys. Thank you.